You're convinced that life is denying you what you want. You believe your goals are far away, that the universe conspires against you, that no matter how hard you try, there is always something holding you back. But here's the truth that's going to shake you. You always get exactly what you want. Yes, you read that correctly. Every outcome in your life, every situation you call failure, every closed door is precisely what you asked for. Not with words, but with something far more powerful, your inner state. And before you close this thinking it's some cheap motivational speech, let me tell you something. This isn't motivation, it's a mirror. And mirrors don't lie, even when looking into them hurts. You say you want success, but your mind is trapped in fear of failure. You claim you seek love, but your energy radiates distrust. You proclaim you want peace, but you feed internal chaos every morning. The contradiction is not in the world, it's within you. Eckhart Tolle put it with brutal clarity. It's not what you want that creates your reality, it's your state of consciousness. And your current state of consciousness is not asking for what you think it's asking for. It's screaming the exact opposite. And the universe, being the perfect mirror it is returning it to you with surgical precision. Think about this for a moment. Every time you say you want something better, from where are you saying it? From fullness or from lack? Because here's the trick no one tells you. When you want something from lack, you are affirming that you don't have it. And that affirmation, that vibrational state of absence, is what manifests. You don't get what you desire, you get the reflection of your inner state. If your inner state screams need, lack, insufficiency, that's exactly what you receive. More need, more lack, more insufficiency. The outer world is nothing but an echo of your inner world, and that echo has no feelings. It doesn't negotiate, it simply reflects. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract opportunities effortlessly? It's not luck, it's not privilege, it's alignment. Their inner state is not at war with what they say they want. They're not begging the universe, they're vibrating at the frequency of what they desire. And here's what's really going to bother you. You also vibrate at a frequency, only that it's the frequency of fear, resistance, and doubt. And that frequency has a brutal magnetic power. It attracts exactly what you fear, again and again, confirming the narrative you carry in your mind. Most people live in a constant state of resistance. You resist the present, you resist what is, and in that resistance you create more of the same. Tolle was clear, what you resist persists. Every time you complain about your situation, you reinforce it. Every time you fight against your current reality, you give it more energy. And energy doesn't distinguish between desire and resistance. It only amplifies whatever you focus on. So if your mind is obsessed with what you don't want, guess what you'll keep getting? Exactly, more of what you don't want, because your attention is your creative power, and where you place attention, you place energy. And where you place energy, you create form. Here's the problem, you don't know what you really want. You think you do, but your conscious mind wants one thing, while your unconscious mind is programmed for something completely different. Your conscious mind says, I want financial freedom, but your unconscious mind is terrified of the responsibility it implies. Your conscious mind says, I want a genuine relationship, but your unconscious fears being seen, being vulnerable. That internal division is the silent war that sabotages every attempt at progress. And as long as that war continues, you'll keep getting mixed, confusing, frustrating results. Life doesn't give you what you ask for with words, it gives you what you ask for with your being. And your being is made up of ingrained beliefs, emotional patterns, and identities you've carried for years. If your deep identity is that of someone unworthy, guess what kind of experiences you'll attract? If your dominant emotional pattern is anxiety, guess what kinds of situations will show up to confirm that anxiety? The universe is not against you, it's simply showing you who you believe you are. And that, my friend, is both terrifying and liberating. Because if you accept that you always get what you want, then you also accept that you have the power to change what you get. Not by changing the outer world, but by transforming your inner state. Not by manipulating circumstances, but by aligning your vibration. And here's the brutal truth. Most people prefer to blame the world rather than look in the mirror. It's easier to say the system is against me than to admit I am against myself. It's more comfortable to point at bad luck than to recognize my beliefs are sabotaging me. But you're not most people, otherwise you would have closed this already. You're here because something in you knows there's another way. Something in you recognizes that the answer isn't outside, it's inside. And that spark of recognition is all you need to start changing the game, because the game isn't played in the world, it's played in your mind, in your heart, in your energy. Master that, and you master your reality. Now comes the uncomfortable part. If you always get what you want, then you must take responsibility for everything. Not for some things, for everything. Every toxic relationship, you asked for it. Every job you hate, you attracted it. Every situation you call unfair has your energetic signature. And before you shout, "But I didn't ask for this consciously," let me clarify something. Creation does not operate from your conscious mind. It operates from your entire state of being. And your state of being includes all those shadows you deny, all those fears you hide, all those limiting beliefs you inherited and never questioned. Total responsibility is terrifying because it removes all your excuses. You can no longer blame your parents, your upbringing, your past, the economy, or society. All of that influenced you, yes, but it has no power over you unless you give it power. The past only has the power you grant it in the present. And every time you say, "It's because my childhood was difficult," you are choosing to remain that version of yourself. Every time you say, "It's because I never had opportunities," you are rejecting the ones you have now. The past doesn't define you, it only defines your present, if you allow it to. Tolle spoke about the pain body, that accumulation of emotional pain from the past that you carry as an identity. And here's the trap, that pain feels so familiar that you confuse it with who you are. You identify with it. And when you identify with something, you perpetuate it. Your unconscious mind seeks experiences that confirm that painful identity, because though it hurts, it's familiar. And the familiar, even when miserable, feels safer than the unknown. So you keep recreating the same dynamics, the same situations, the same conflicts, again and again. And each time you ask yourself, "Why is this happening to me?" when the real question should be, "Why am I still choosing this?" Because yes, you are choosing it. Not consciously, but you are choosing it at a deeper level. Your nervous system is calibrated to a certain level of stress, chaos, and pain. When things go well, your system goes on alert. This isn't normal, it says, and you sabotage. You create conflict out of nowhere. You make a self-destructive decision. You push away someone who loves you, not because you're masochistic, but because your system is addicted to a specific emotional state. And that addiction is stronger than your conscious desire for change. Here's what no one tells you. Changing your life requires changing your emotional addiction. And that's painful because it means letting go of the identity you've known your whole life. It means stopping being the victim, the misunderstood one, the unlucky one. Those identities have served you in some way, They've given you a narrative, a justification, a way to avoid total responsibility. But they've also kept you trapped. And the moment comes when you have to decide, do you prefer being right or being free? Because you can't be both. Being right means continuing to blame, continuing to justify, continuing to be the same person who gets the same results. Being free means letting all of that go, even when it hurts, even when it feels unfair. Because freedom doesn't arrive when the world changes. It arrives when you change your relationship with the world. And that relationship starts with acceptance, not resignation, acceptance. Accepting what is, not as defeat, but as a starting point. Tolle expressed it with devastating simplicity. Accept the now, then act. But most people do the opposite. They reject the now, fight against it, and from that resistance they try to act. And any action born from resistance is contaminated. It cannot produce pure results because its origin is impure. Only when you fully accept what is, only when you release the internal struggle, does your action become powerful. Because you are no longer acting from fear, from lack, from the need for something to change in order to be okay. You are acting from fullness, from clarity, from power. And here's the secret that changes everything. You don't need circumstances to change in order to feel good. You can feel good now, in the middle of chaos, in the middle of uncertainty, in the middle of whatever is happening. That internal state of well-being depends on nothing external. And when you reach that state, when you find that peace in the middle of the storm, something magical happens. Circumstances begin to change, not because you are forcing them, but because your vibration changed. And your new vibration attracts new experiences, new people, new opportunities. But the trap is that you can't fake it. You can't fool the universe with positive affirmations while your internal state screams the opposite. The universe doesn't hear your words, it feels your energy. And your energy is honest, brutally honest. You can say, I am abundant 1,000 times in front of the mirror, but if your body is tense, if your breathing is shallow, if your mind is worried, your energy is saying, I'm afraid, I need, I don't have enough. And guess which message manifests? That's why the work is not to change your circumstances, but to change your state. And changing your state is not a mental process, it's a process of consciousness. It's observing without judging, it's feeling without resisting, it's being present without needing the moment to be different. It sounds simple, and it is, but simple doesn't mean easy, because your entire life you've been taught to do, to force, to control. And now I'm telling you that the real power lies in being, in allowing, in surrendering. And that goes against everything you think you know. Surrender is not weakness, it's the highest form of strength. It's letting go of the illusion of control and trusting something greater than your limited mind. Your mind believes it must solve everything, that it must know how, that it must have a plan. But your mind is tiny compared to the intelligence of the universe. Your mind can plan the next 5 steps. The universe can orchestrate the next 5,000, but only if you get out of the way, only if you stop trying to control every detail. And here's the paradox: when you let go of control, you gain more control. When you stop forcing, things flow. When you stop resisting, everything aligns. Not because the world rewards you for surrendering, but because, in surrendering you, align yourself with the natural flow of life. And that flow always takes you where you need to be. Not necessarily where you want to be, but where you need to be for your evolution. Because here's the deeper truth: you don't always know what's best for you. Your mind has a list of desires based on conditioning, comparisons, and fears. But your deeper being knows something else. It knows what you truly need to grow, to expand, to become who you're meant to be. And sometimes what you need is the exact opposite of what you think you want. Sometimes you need loss to learn detachment. Sometimes you need solitude to find yourself. Sometimes you need failure to let go of the ego. So when I say you always get what you want, I don't mean the superficial desires of your mind. I'm referring to what your soul is asking for, to what your evolution requires. And your soul doesn't ask for comfort, it asks for growth. It doesn't ask for ease, it asks for expansion. It doesn't ask for safety, it asks for awakening. And awakening is uncomfortable because it means dying to who you thought you were to be reborn into who you truly are. Most people don't want to awaken, they want to sleep comfortably. They want the illusion of control, the illusion of security, the illusion of separation. But those illusions have a price, suffering, because every time you identify with something you are not, you suffer. Every time you resist what is, you suffer. Every time you try to control the uncontrollable, you suffer. And that suffering is not a punishment, it's a signal. It's life telling you you're out of alignment, you're fighting the current, you're living from ego instead of being. Tolle put it this way: the ego believes the present moment is never enough. It always needs more, it always needs something different, it always needs the future to arrive in order to be okay. But the future never arrives, only another present moment arrives. And if you cannot be okay now, you won't be okay then, because then will become now, and your pattern of dissatisfaction will continue. It's a vicious cycle that only breaks when you choose to be present, when you choose to accept this moment as it is. And here's the revolutionary part. Accepting this moment doesn't mean resigning yourself to nothing changing. It means you stop needing it to change to be okay. And that difference means everything, because when you no longer need something to change, you act from a place of power, not desperation. Your decisions are clear, they're not contaminated by fear. Your actions are effective because they are not loaded with resistance, and results come faster because your energy is aligned. Think of the times you forced something, a relationship, a job, an outcome. How did it end? Probably in frustration, disappointment, more suffering, because whatever you force resists, whatever you chase desperately runs away, not because the universe is cruel, but because your desperation carries the vibration of lack, and lack repels. Only when you release the desperation, when you trust that what is meant for you will come, do doors open. But letting go is not passivity. It's conscious action instead of unconscious reaction. It's moving when you feel genuine impulse, not when fear pushes you. It's creating from inspiration, not obligation. And that distinction is crucial because the quality of your action determines the quality of your result. You can work 14 hours a day from fear and get nowhere. Or you can work 4 hours from alignment and create something extraordinary. It's not about quantity, it's about energetic quality. And here's what will surprise you. When you start living from this place of alignment, from this state of present acceptance, the things you thought you wanted begin to lose importance, because you realize you never wanted those things for themselves. You wanted them for how you thought they would make you feel. You wanted money to feel safe. You wanted recognition to feel valuable. You wanted love to feel complete. But when you find those states within yourself, without needing anything external, the external things lose their power over you. And paradoxically, when they lose their power over you, they come to you more easily. Because you're no longer chasing them from lack, you're attracting them from wholeness. And wholeness is magnetic. People can feel when someone is complete within themselves, when someone doesn't need anything from them. And that energy is irresistible, not in a superficial sense, but in a profound one. It's the energy of someone at peace with themselves, and that peace is contagious. So how do you start this change? Not with grand gestures, but with small moments of presence. Every time you notice your mind is in the past or the future, bring it back. Every time you feel resistance in your body, breathe into it. Every time you catch yourself judging the present moment as insufficient, ask yourself, who says it's insufficient? My mind or my being? Because your being never needs the moment to be different. Your being is completely at peace with what is. Only your mind creates conflict. And here's the work. Disidentify from your mind. Realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the consciousness that observes them. And from that observation, you have power. Power to choose which thoughts to feed and which to let pass. Power to decide what to focus on. Power to change your internal state regardless of external circumstances. And that power is all you need to transform your life completely. Because when you change your inner state, your outer life has no choice but to reflect it. Not immediately, because there is a time gap between planting and harvesting, but inevitably. The seeds you plant today with your state of consciousness will bear fruit tomorrow in your reality. So, plant wisely, not from fear, from love, not from lack, from abundance, not from resistance, from acceptance, and watch how your garden blooms. You always get what you want. Now you understand that the real wanting is not in your mind, but in your vibration. Change your vibration, change your life. It's that simple and that profound. And if this video has awakened something in you, if it has stirred that part of you that knows there is more, then don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel, because this is just the beginning. Every week I bring content that challenges what you think you know, that pushes you out of your comfort zone, that shows you the truth few dare to face. It's not for everyone, but if you've made it this far, it's probably for you. Hit the subscribe button and join those who are choosing to awaken instead of continuing to sleep. See you in the next video.